Please here, and welcome to the Sparks Show, where we got comedy, news, and two forgettable digs.
With Sparks.
You've got tiny wrists.
Pike.
Hates French toast and your children.
And you, the committee.
Yo, what up, fucker?
Subscribe now and become a committee member. Let's rock.
That's what I'm talking about.
Good morning. Hi. Hello. How are you? Hey, Pike. How are you?
Good morning. Well, you know, I just read that Dale Earnhardt died today, 20 years ago. So.
Oh. I thought you meant his son. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. 20 years
again.
later. 20 years later to the date.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
That seems like a conspiracy. But no, Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s fine. Dale Earnhardt, mustachioed man, died 20 years ago today.
Yeah. I haven't checked on Junior yet, so I can't say for sure.
Hmm.
But I do know that this was the day that crazy as shit, most famous guy in the sport, I think, at the time. And he dies, it was the Daytona 500 too, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't know anything about racing. I thought you would know. If you're saddened that he died 20 years ago, I thought you'd be an expert in NASCAR. But you're not.
No.
You're just sad that some guy died 20 years ago.
Yeah. It doesn't make it less sad.
I mean, if you don't know about him, definitely makes it less sad. If you're like, oh yeah, hey, did you know that Frank Gillespie died 20 years ago today? I'd be like, I have no idea who the fuck Frank Gillespie is. I don't. It does make it less sad. Does.
Okay, but me knowing like who he is, and then also maybe what race he died at, like just having that possible knowledge, I think that's pretty good.
It is pretty good. It's pretty good. Pizza's here. Pizza. Good morning, Pizza. He says, yes, the Daytona 500. Look at that. Pizza's fact-checking you.
Thank you, Pizza. It's just sad because, you know, when you get into those cars and you're driving 200 miles per hour around a little circle, you never think that that could lead to your death. But it could.
I'm pretty sure that's all that's all I'd be thinking, going 200 miles an hour around a circle. I'm like, I'm going to die. That's all I'd be thinking the entire time.
Dude, I go 60 on the interstate. I'm like, God, I could die anytime.
Yeah. You know what, though? They put in a lot of extra safety precautions after his death. I remember that.
Yeah, they make him wear seatbelts now.
NASCAR takes it seriously now. That's good. No, I remember they put like that head mount on and they like strap that collar around your chin type thing because that's how he did it. I think he broke his neck. Yeah. Right. Which is, a damn shame. A damn tragedy.
It is horrible. I don't know if anyone's died since. So maybe that was as sad as it was very integral into the safety of the sport. So,
yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, enough eulogy about Dale.
I mean, is NASCAR a sport? I mean, come on.
No.
Are those athletes? They're athletes like a professional bowler's an athlete, right? Same build. Yeah,
I'm sure you get pretty sore. I mean, just doing this because it's such a long race. You do anything for that long.
I mean, I got sore from sneezing the other day. I mean, you can get sore from anything. I've been sore from stretching, like trying not to be sore. I got sore. You're capable.
And you are undeniably an athlete. So look at you.
Thank you.
Should be. Mm-hmm.
I feel like an athlete. I absolutely feel like one. There are some sports that I absolutely respect that I don't feel like they're athletes.
Okay. Name one.
A sport
golf
that I respect. Golf, not athletes.
But it's a sport.
Definitely a sport, but not an athlete.
Dude, you're thinking of Arnold Palmer's golf. Look at these kids now. They are athletes. Yes,
Dude,
they are.
look at
You can
John
hit the
Daly.
ball 400 yards. That's what I'm saying. That's not it anymore. That ain't it.
He's
There's
still
not these
golfing, and he's still crushing it. You can golf
well, he's not.
when you're 80 years old. There should be no senior PGA Tour because that should just be the PGA Tour. You can still smash the ball and hit minus, 15, 20, and be a dominant figure in your sport. Don't get me wrong. You're right. The young kids, of course, they're going to get ripped. It's going to turn into the NFL where they have like a combine. And these dudes are bench pressing 600 pounds and then driving the ball 500 yards. I understand that's what it'll be. But some of the greatest players of all time were smoking while they were playing. Not athletes. Skills game. Skill. It's about mechanics. It's about technique. It's not about sheer stamina, prowess, muscle mass, agility. That's what makes an athlete. Right?
Okay. So baseball's also not a sport then?
Not real. No, baseball's definitely a sport. Not really
How did it fit all-
athletes. Not really athletes.
It kind of checked all those boxes.
I agree. I love baseball. And of course those people, but when you have the main position and you can look like who is the pitcher that pitched like well into his 40s here?
Bartolo Colon.
Yeah, you can look like Bartolo Colon and still be fine. Yeah. And still be one of the best. Bartolo Colon, CC Sabathia. When CC Sabathia walks up on the mound and people are scared and he looks like that, they're like, oh, God, he's one of the best. Oh. And he's got a gut. It's like not really an athlete.
Yeah. That's the same as golf because you can throw the ball 100 miles per hour and it's not like just because you're super strong. It's like a combination of like length and elasticity in your
mechanics,
joints,
dude. Yeah,
yeah,
it's like
mechanics.
that. How you snap your arm and your wrist and the whole thing.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
Wait, golf.
I feel like I'm discrediting their talent. They are immensely talented. No, I'm not.
You've insulted a lot of people this morning, including the late Dale Earnhardt.
I did not mean to insult him. I just said I don't know anything about him. I don't know. He had a mustache and a cowboy hat, and he drove in circles. That's all I know.
Yeah, you sure seem to know a lot about how he died.
I just remember them saying, well, a lot of safety things went in after he died. I didn't watch NASCAR when he died 20 years ago. I don't watch NASCAR now. I've never watched a single NASCAR race on television.
Somebody asked me to go to the Daytona 500, which was just this past Sunday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I said, no, I don't think so. And I'm glad because it was rain delayed for hours. So
right.
Imagine already thinking it was going to be long and then having it be longer. Ooh. Anyway.
Not worth it. Anyway, there's a man. He's more of an athlete than I would say most professional sports players. His name is at Pike Taylor Radio on all social media. Yes. I am at Sparks Radio. Not really more of an athlete than anyone.
I agree.
Doesn't mean I can't be talented and skilled and make hundreds of millions of dollars.
Which you do. So,
Which I definitely don't. And I am not. Absolutely. Curling. I would say curling is another skills, just like throwing darts, curling, anything. I like how people are like, if it requires any physical activity, you're automatically an athlete, which is horseshit. Absolute horseshit. Technique, repetition. Look, I have more respect for. I don't like the sport of soccer. I mean, it's fine. I've played it. I used to play it as a kid on a team, but I'm not a fan of watching it on television. It's not that exciting to me. However, I respect the hell out of those guys. Those are definitely athletes. More so than a sport that I immensely enjoy, baseball. Immensely enjoy it. It's by far my top 3 favorite sports.
Yeah, the soccer thing's crazy. I mean, baseball, you're not giving them that. You're kind of underselling them a little bit. Like, those guys are definitely athletes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, even the big ones, they can still move. They can, like, the big first baseman, they can still, like, field balls.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
They
agree.
just might not look like
Yeah.
bodybuilders.
Sure.
What about
But
fantasy? What did Pizza say about fantasy football?
He said fantasy football's not a sport, Pike.
I disagree. I disagree. And I am an athlete for managing my team.
Yep, that's correct. Exactly. All right, well, welcome to the show. It is a comedy news and apparently a sports argument show. Well, that's fine. We're going to be talking about a lot of things today because we have a special guest. Stand-up comedian Michael Joyce is going to be on the program. He's got a new podcast out. I had the honors of being on an episode of the new podcast. We'll be chatting with Mike Joyce later on today. We got the news that matters and your $100 code word. We're giving out another $100 of my stimulus money. Make sure you're getting that code word today so you can type it in and win yourself $100. Just like pizza, man. I paid pizza yesterday. Pizza is now $100 richer. This man right here, because of course he typed in the code word a bunch of times, put his name in that pot several hundred, I think it was like 700 times. And hey man, the odds were in his favor. Good. Great. Absolutely
Good.
Wonderful. You got to love when the plan works out, right? Hey, Pike.
It's okay.
Before
What's
we
going
even
on?
get any farther into the show, let me ask you this. What's the worst thing a neighbor has seen you do?
A neighboroonie, huh?
The old neighbor room.
Heidely ho. Neighboroonie. Well, I've lived in a lot of apartments. Can't really see the neighbors. Boy, this is a tough one. You've
never interacted with your neighbors? You've never seen your neighbors? You never done any of that kind of nonsense?
I've just like moved so much that I just don't. I don't know. The only neighbor interaction I remember is we lived in this townhome, so like a family was on the other side of the wall, and so they got 2 kids, young family, and meanwhile we are like just a bunch of assholes.
How many people
And we
are
would
living in
play
this townhome?
It was 4, so it was my wife and then another couple. So like that itself wasn't crazy, but we would play a show. The whole band would come over to after party. So this is like 2:30 in the morning.
Oh no!
And one time we ended up with 15 people, and we're like cranking. It was Linkin Park and like Limp Bizkit, so things were getting out of control. And
We were blasting Carole King and the Carpenters, so things were getting pretty wild.
And there was one part. I think it was on the Linkin Park song, One Step Closer, where it's like, "Shut up when I'm talking to you. Shut up." And we were jumping, a bunch of men, and I bet the women were jumping too, just stomping in the kitchen like maniacs at 3 a.m. And their bedroom shared a wall with our kitchen.
Oh
and
my
we had
God!
We had done this so many times before, but they've never said anything. So we just thought we were invincible. So finally, we heard a knock on the door, and we had ordered pizza too. So we thought it was the pizza guy. So we walk over there and open it up, and there's this little lady, and she just goes, "Hi, can you guys turn it down a little? Our wall is shaking." Just so nice about it. But her fucking wall was shaking.
That poor woman. Poor woman. What it took for her to muster up the courage to go knock on that door.
Oh yeah.
Oh
And I felt like an asshole. So
yeah.
that was the only interaction. So she didn't see me doing anything horrible per se, but she knew she could hear it.
Yeah, she could feel it. She could feel her wall shaking. She's like, I don't know why,
imagine.
but I don't think I like them. Yeah. Ironically, she was singing to the chorus. She was yelling, "Shut up," as well. Shut up, like that. But you just thought that was Chester from Linkin Park. And it wasn't even that song.
Oh,
was
the
your
neighbors
neighbor.
were joining in too.
Yeah, exactly.
they were
Everybody
just having
loves
fun.
this song. Woo! That's right, neighbor lady. Shut up. She just timed it
Oh.
in your eyes perfectly, in her eyes completely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I like Pizza here.
Poor
Pizza
lady.
says, my neighbor seen me taking a shit in the backyard. Oh, my God. Why? Your backyard? Pizza, it's
Right.
your backyard.
There might be a toilet or two even right inside those walls.
Inside your house.
What the hell? Now, if you want to piss in your backyard, okay.
Right. I've peed in my backyard before. It was when I was a kid. Yeah, you ever camp in your backyard as a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I set up a tent back there, and it was like really late at night, and I'm like, I gotta pee. I don't want to go in the house and wake everyone up, you know? So, pee down the backyard. Pretty sure they saw him. All my neighbors saw me.
Saw your schwang.
No, just saw me
Oh,
standing spread eagle near a tree stump.
sure.
Yeah, exactly.
We grew up in the country, so you could do anything in the yard.
Oh, God.
Anything went.
Yeah. Pizza says 1 bathroom, 3 roommates. All right, that makes sense. All right. I got you.
An
Pizza.
emergency
I'm
situation.
finished.
Hey, Sparks, let me ask you this.
Yeah. Hey, Pike. Yeah. Hi.
Why don't you have any pets?
It's a great question. I'm not going
I
to
was
get
thinking
any
about
pets
it all night.
for a long time. Pets require a lot of work. And I don't think anyone should own a pet unless they're ready, willing, and able to put in the time and effort it takes to make sure you raise a pet right. And it doesn't matter what kind of pet that is. So I don't have money for a pet. More importantly, I don't have time for a pet. I've got 2 kids. That's enough. I was just telling my wife, when I see a family with young children, it's got to be young children, and it's got to be a dad. It's usually a dad with young kids. And then I see a dog. I'm like, dude, what is wrong with your life that you are not getting enough love and attention right now? Like, you also need the dog to find someone that loves you. How much do you either need the attention or do you need to take care of something? Because you're a psycho. You've got way too much on your plate. All 3 of those things are being neglected to a certain point. There's no way you can take care of multiple children and a pet and a wife and a job. And it's like you are being pulled in all direction. This is why I think male pattern baldness is a thing.
Because it's pets.
It's because they're stretching themselves too thin, man. You're too thin. And I'm not talking about your waistline. I'm talking about your hairline. Yeah.
Yeah, my sister, when we lived with her, she had a kid, a young 1 or 2 year old, and a dog that all in a little house. And the dog was just a horrible dog, not like a chill dog at all. So very anxious,
Yeah.
And then everyone, you just start to resent the dog.
Oh, that's not fair
So
to the dog.
I know. No, he didn't ask for that.
No.
But so many of these kids are getting pets because it's cute. And that's it. But they live in apartments. It's like, get that big fucking dog out of an apartment. Just.
And know exactly what you mean.
Well, that's just my 2 cents. Yeah. So we have resisted the urge to get a pet.
Yeah.
There's 2. And who wants to, you want to travel and you want to do shit and you got a dog to, do something with. You got to put him somewhere.
Exactly. And now it becomes like a little ball and chain, that dog that was supposed to be your bestie. But you can bring babies places. You can't really bring dogs everywhere. Although people are trying now. They're trying to bring their fucking dogs every which way. Put them in little strollers, take them to the Apple store. I don't know what's happening anymore. I don't understand. Like that dog, it comes back to, you got to let the dog be a dog. Taking care of your dog doesn't mean taking it everywhere. It means getting it some exercise, letting it run around, letting it be a dog, letting it bark and chase a ball. That's what makes it happy. It makes it happy by being loyal to a human and then running around smelling shit. Like that's why they're the best animals ever.
Yeah.
Not this fucking, it wants to go to a board meeting with you. It doesn't. Doesn't want to be there. Wants to be smelling some ass.
To contribute.
Yeah.
Give him an ass. Give him an ass to smell.
Wants to be smelling all their dogs' asses in the dog park.
Oh.
Running on the beach. Going for a hike. That's a dog. And I hate when people can't own up to the fact of like, oh, I want a dog, but they don't put any other thought other than that beyond it, you know?
I know. They just picture, it'd just be cute to it's mostly social media. They just want to put fucking Instagram photos up.
Right. Yep.
Oh, it's maddening.
Nothing pisses me off more than when people get a dog and then immediately get rid of it. Like give it to the pound.
Worst thing.
I'm like, you just killed it.
Yeah. You should be killed. Those people should be killed. Is that a crazy thing to say?
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
It's just a second ago I thought I had you on board because you said that they were the worst people. So I thought, all right, now's your chance to share this crazy thought you had.
Oh, that's so great. Like he's still here. He's still with me. All right, here we go. I'm gonna throw a murder now. Here we go. Let's see if he's still with me. This is how I know if they're on board for anything. Are you a ride or die? Let's do it. No, I'm not ride or die. I'm out.
Fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I say we get to the interview here. And then after the interview, we'll do the $100 code word. $100 code word, then we'll get to the news that matters. But speaking of really great people that would probably not be on board with Pike in terms of taking out the folks that donate animals.
Whatever.
You got this guy. He's a wonderful human being. He's a stand-up comedian. His name is Michael Joyce. I have known him for my entire life because he is my cousin. So full disclosure, Michael Joyce is my cousin. I grew up with him, and he went into stand-up comedy. He did comedy in Chicago, New York City. Now he's in L.A. doing stand-up comedy. So he's a bona fide stand-up. I'm happy to have him on. And he started his own podcast. It's called Doing My Best. It's a parenting podcast, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And I was a guest on that show. And it's out right now, is what he says in the
Boy, he'll just have about anybody on, huh?
You know what he's trying to do? He's trying to capitalize on the sweet, sweet commitment that we have from the committee. That's what he's trying to do. See, he doesn't have a committee. He doesn't have a pizza that wants to jump on here and take shits in his backyard. Okay? He doesn't have that. He doesn't have guys like Pizza or Colin. We'll talk about it here in the interview with Mike Joyce. Let's bring him in right now. Michael Joyce. Hi, Mike. How are you, sir?
Sparks, it's good. Pike, how are ya?
Good, Mike. Good to see you. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you. Yeah, it feels good to be back in the realm, the Sparks Radio realm, man.
Yes.
It's like slipping on an old pair of slippers that you found under the bed, and it feels so good in there. And maybe there's a couple rocks in there.
Definitely. But, a little sweaty, perhaps.
Good.
Yeah,
a little sweaty. Dog chewed on it a little bit.
Right. Yeah, it's still there, but for the most part, they do their job, and that's great. Yeah, if you don't know, Mike Joyce was the guy I started this show with, like eons ago. 2013 is how long ago. I think Mark Maron, we were before him. I'm pretty sure we were before Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, and let me just say, we wanted to stay small. We wanted to be here.
That's right. Yeah, we wanted to keep it underground. We're like that punk indie label, that wouldn't sell out.
Yeah,
we're up there with like Rush Limbaugh, I think.
That's right.
We're
R.I.P. Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, what a day to name drop him.
What? Rush Limbaugh. That's right.
If you're just learning.
Some would say Sparks has done more damage to the country, but I think that's debatable.
Some would say this podcast is just as controversial as Rush Limbaugh's program, and I would say probably not. You're reading the wrong source is probably what I would say. That's not true.
He did say something. Mike Sparks said something pretty controversial. It upset his mother immensely. Something about chopping off the devil's dick, or I forget exactly.
Oh, no.
Oh, Catholics everywhere are
Yes.
just raging.
Yes. No.
That
So
seems like a good thing, right? You don't want the devil to have a dick.
that's what I tried telling my mom. That's what I tried
He's going
telling
to do
her.
a lot of damage with that thing.
That was an episode I did with Ryan West on another podcast I had. I've had a lot of them. And we'll get to this here in a sec, but let me just go background real quick. Michael Joyce, stand-up comedian, podcast host. He's a man of many talents, but he's also my cousin. Okay, I grew up with him. We were close. We used to go over each other's houses quite a bit, sleepovers. There was a lake house that was in the family. We used to go sleep at the lake house. It was awesome. Nerf gun fights, the whole nine. Yeah.
Spark strikes me as a guy, Mike, you can confirm or deny. Did you ever get like scared or want to go home in the middle of the night? Like homesick? I don't know why you seem like you might be that guy.
Sparks?
Yeah.
Well, his brothers were usually hanging out too, so they would whip him into shape if he got out of line, you know. His older brother would just be like, come on, Matthew, stop being a punk, you know.
I never wanted to go home. I used to have so much fun. Like the first time I ever played Star Fox on Nintendo 64 was over at Mike's house. Michael in his basement.
Oh,
in your
yeah.
house. Yeah, dude. The first time
I was a little too good at that game. I'm sorry for mercilessly defeating you.
You were very good at that game. You were into that game full force. Falco is who you used to play with all the time, I should say, play as. The first time I drank Jolt Cola was Michael Joyce's house.
Forgot about that. You know, we actually had our cousins from Denver send it to us from Denver because they didn't sell it in Ohio at the time. And like the word on the street was that it was illegal. Like they had outlawed it, right? So I think I'm in 8th grade and my brother Tom was in like high school. So we had them ship us in a couple cases, and then I sold them to my classmates for like $5 a can. And then so like, and then they drank them and they're like, this is not. And then like, I think one of them saw like it at the grocery store and they're like, hey, wait, we can get these? $5 again. And then I tell my brother, I'm like, hey man, like some people are asking like what the deal with this Joe call. He's like, no refunds.
Yeah, no refunds, man. I love how
so good.
Yeah, I love how ambitious you were. It's like you had your own little enterprise going on, criminal enterprise happening in school.
Yeah, it was. We thought we were drug dealing, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I learned a lot from Michael, quite a bit in terms of childhood, but also in terms of comedy and being around comedians. And I got to say, like, I feel, hopefully, knock on wood, you made me funnier because I remember doing the show back in 2013 and Michael was on for a good long time. And then obviously kids got involved. You know, I mean, once you're like, I've done this for free for years now, and now I have children, I gotta go, bro. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But
we used to tape it like Saturday morning, so it was
yeah,
it was tough.
It was, yeah.
That's our only day off now.
I know you guys are working 6 days a week. Damn. You guys need to join the podcaster union.
But don't worry, we're making 6 times as much money as you guys were. So
That's we are. We're making $6.
I'm looking at this new interface here that we got. This 3-way split screen.
Yeah.
It's like Sparks Radio Mortal Kombat. I'm like, who do I choose? I want to choose Pike because he's got a good fatality, you know.
Yeah.
And then it gives you
And at the end-
and then it tells you to call him. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I got you up there too.
We did not have this technology, Pike. I hope we were doing this over Skype.
Yeah.
And we I don't even know. How did I even record it? I don't remember.
You had a recorder that you would record separately, and then I would just record. I would sync our audio. We never did video together.
Damn.
The show's come a long way. I mean, not in terms of ratings or download numbers.
I'd say, what's up, Colin?
Yeah, what's up? Colin's still here, baby. Love me the committee chair.
Colin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, committee chair. He's been here since the beginning.
Dude,
No way. I didn't know that.
Oh man, if I had to list the number one supporter, it'd be Colin, and then it would be my wife of my career.
If you got married again, Colin would have to be your best man.
Yep, I would do it. I'd absolutely do it. 100%. I love Colin. He's a great man. He's just a good dude. But look, we got a lot to talk about because I'm not the one with the podcast anymore. I mean, I have obviously this. And Pike is
this?
The show. Obviously, we're doing a podcast and the whole thing, but I'm saying Michael Joyce also now has his own show. He's got his own podcast called Doing My Best, and it's a parenting / comedy podcast. So I had the privilege to be on it. I don't know when my episode's going to air.
It actually got released today. I'm a little behind my tweeting, but
it's out. All right,
it's out. It's released.
It's out right now. If you want to hear how I function as a parent horribly, would be a little teaser, then I would suggest you go and download that right now. The link will be in the description. Go and download not just my episode, but you have great guests and you're a parent, you're a father of two. Can you talk about, does it only have to be people with kids?
No, it's dubbed as like for people with kids in their lives. So I'm pretty much everybody's got kids around. I have had one non-parent guest, Megan Gailey, who's been on like Comedy Central and blah, 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 blah. I just feel like everybody's kind of got kids in their life, and we just have like a fun conversation about like, about their childhood and how they were raised, and then how they're raising their kids, and how it's all like nobody's perfect. Because I don't know, all the like stuff surrounding parenting on the internet is fucking nuts. It's always like you're doing it wrong, or like you're gonna kill your baby, and like if you ever Google it, and it's just like, and like looking back at like the way we were raised, like like we didn't have to like wear seatbelts, and and like your parents would just like let you roam free, and now it's just I just want to kind of address like how like parents are humans too, and how we're all just kind of doing our best and kind of just making it up as we go along. And I don't know, like if it started as like I was going to give advice to people, but I learned a lot more from the people. I would say like every guest gives me a good lesson. And like you, Sparks, yesterday you gave good parenting advice, but it was also just like a good life lesson. So I think there's a lot of good stuff to learn, and it's not all just like my baby farted today. It's like it's big picture stuff and fun stuff. So yeah, we do have some we have parent listeners, but we also have single and ready to mingle listeners, aunts, uncles. Listen, you can all get on board.
There you go.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Smash the subscribe button.
Yeah.
Because we've all, we're all just, we got, whether you like it or not, we're surrounded by children. So
it's true.
Yeah.
Pike, you're an uncle.
Big time uncle, just uncle times 2 as of a couple weeks ago. So I get it. Thank you. I lived with my nephew for like 6 months just recently. So, I got to see it, got to be around it. But as they say, like you didn't have to, I got to hand him back when he was crying. So that was nice. But I'm jealous. At some point, I know we're like, all right, see you. We're going to go to a bar. See you later. But yeah, Sparks, it's kind of fun to see. I'm excited for the episode, first of all, because Sparks, we'll get to see it sometimes. Enzo will come in the room, and what was it the other day? He was he was begging you to not go, which is a heart-wrenching thing. Your kid doesn't want you to leave because he hasn't seen you that much.
Yeah.
And what did we tell him, Sparks? We looked him in the eye and said, listen, Enzo, some daddies leave and never come back. So you need to understand
That's right.
what you have here.
Like,
and he stopped. He walked away. He said, okay.
Walked away. Yep, exactly. And I reminded him of his friend. I was like, hey, remember little Johnny? His dad left. Never came back. I'm in the room. I'm here the whole time. No, I didn't say that. Don't try to poison my child's brain. No, but he does come in here and I'm like, I'm doing the show. Yeah. And he does not care. That's the thing. You probably learned that, Pike, living in a house with same house as your nephew. But one thing that I never knew was just how much you really kind of like kids don't pay attention. They don't listen. They are just 100% in their own reality. And I think humans are that way too. I think being a parent makes you a better person in terms of seeing the world you have a better grasp on how it actually operates. You understand how people work a lot better because you literally see them from the beginning turning into an actual person and forming their own thoughts. And there's still that remnant, that leftover like cloudiness of, dude, get out of your own, you're in your own reality a little bit. Here's what Earth is like. And it's kind of nice. It kind of gives you that perspective where you're removed from a situation you can analyze. And then hopefully you have enough intuition where you can turn that on yourself. And I think hearing other parents talk about being a parent and it's funny. I definitely want to say that it's funny. I've listened to the episodes. You got a lot of funny people on there talking about being a parent. It's going to be funny, which is great. It's a great, as a parent, it's very refreshing. But at the same time, it's a way to analyze the world in a way that even if you're not a parent, you might not realize that this is going on because, it's everybody says once you have a kid, it's something you don't get until you're not going to understand it until you have a kid. And that's 100% correct. And I hated that trope when I wasn't a kid, but after I did, I was like, oh yeah, no. That everybody on Earth was right when they said that. Yeah, that was at least my feeling. I mean, did you feel that way, Michael, when you became a dad? Were you like, oh my God, pre-kids was a different person, different world?
Yeah, I just immediately wanted to apologize to my parents because I'm like, oh, I didn't appreciate you guys at all, and you were really good parents. I mean, like not perfect, but like it could have been so much worse. So yeah, right. You like the first thing you're like, oh, I'm a piece of shit, and yeah, and it is good for you kind of like step outside of yourself, and you're like, oh, I'm also not the center of the universe. Which is, something I have always struggled with. So it's been good, giving me some perspective. And you're right, it is true. And I freaking hate tropes and all those cliches. But then you have the kid, and you're like, oh god damn, I am a cliche. But it's true, man. It's I have a joke. And since stand-up doesn't exist anymore, I'll do it. But it's like my friends are always asking me what it's like to be a parent, and I'm like, I tell them like, it's I can't explain it to you, but it's the best feeling in the world. And then people usually clap or go, "Aw," and I'll be like, well, I actually didn't come up with that. That's actually my friend who's addicted to heroin describing heroin. But he doesn't mind if I steal it. He's stolen a lot of my stuff. All right.
Jesus.
Stole a lot of my stuff. Oh, damn. That's great. Let's talk comedy, man, because I love your comedy. I think you're hilarious. I hear your voice in my brain all the time. I just told Pike this the other day. When
That's scary. Yeah,
no, seriously, with your joke, I'm going to butcher it and I apologize, but it's an old joke. Michael had this joke where he goes, all the worst decisions in your life are made after the words fuck it. You ever hear people say fuck it? And then your joke was like, fuck it. Make that 5 big beef and cheddars or something, something like that.
5 beef cheddar melts, man. Yeah. It's like no one's ever like, fuck it. I'm gonna exercise, eat right, and wear a condom. So it's like, fuck it. Make that 5 Arby's cheddar melts.
That's it. Yeah.
That's a Mike Joyce Hall of Famer joke right there.
But
that's
dude, you know what? I hear myself.
That's a classic.
Yeah, saying those words, and I'm like, it's probably not a good idea that I do this. If I'm thinking, all right, well, fuck it, I'll just send this email. I'll just go ahead. No, wait, hold on a second. Nothing good's gonna come of that. Yeah, take a second, reanalyze that for a second. So I do hear those, hollowed. That ground that I stand on, which is just wonderful. But you've been doing stand up for a very long time. Did you start when you were in college?
I did, yeah. I started when I was in college, so that was a while ago. I was doing open mic nights probably like 3 times a month at Wiley's Comedy Club in Dayton, Ohio. But then after graduation, I didn't do it a ton until I moved to Chicago, and that's like when I really started taking it seriously. But yeah, it's been a while. It's been like, I don't know, late aughts. So I started pretty seriously, like 4 or 5 times, 7 times a night or 7 times a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I've gotten, I'm a comedy. It's fun, man. It's fun when it's fun. It's even fun when it sucks. And like right now, I mean, I would take the worst gig in the world if I wasn't worried about killing everyone in the audience. But it's just like, and yeah, but I would take like the worst bar show in a Chicago suburb right now. I mean, I've played at like, I would take this one, it was a Chicago suburb. It was like a wings bar. They didn't turn off the TV, and there was a group of like 40 off-duty cops drinking and not paying attention, and I would gladly do that show all over again. Turns out you just make fun of the police. Although I don't know if that works anymore. I don't know. I did that night, but
I think it depends on which Chicago suburb. I think that would matter greatly. Oh man. Yeah, so you were in Chicago, you lived in Chicago for a while. It's where you met your wife. Then you guys moved to New York City. You're doing comedy in New York City, live in New York, and then now you're in LA. Do you have a favorite city? I mean, obviously there's things you probably love and hate about all of them. That's just life.
Yeah, I mean, well, Chicago's a great city. Being in LA, I don't miss winters there. Like people on the East Coast complain about winter, and I was like, you don't understand Midwest winters at all. But Chicago, you leave Chicago and you immediately lose 15 pounds because all you do there is drink and eat just the worst food, but it's so delicious. I miss the tamale man there who would like, you'd be doing a open mic at like 11 p.m. and you'd be in the middle of your set, and then he'd come in the room to go like tamale, tamale, and everybody in the room would stop paying attention to you and just start ordering tamales. And he'd be like, all right, anybody want a tamale? And then you like have to rip tamales for 3 minutes. I miss that. I like New York. Like, and it's probably like a very romantic view. Like, I'm just like doing comedy in New York is cool. And the LA is a rad place to live. It's like the living is easier, I will say, than anywhere I've lived. And the comedy scene is good out here. I only got about a year in before the pandemic hit, so I was still just kind of figuring things out. I started a show, and that was kind of getting good and starting to get more stage time around town. But the old coronavirus put an end to that.
Dude.
I remember before we canceled our show, I was like, all right, well, maybe we should do this last show because I'm sure like we won't be able to have a show for like a month after this coronavirus thing, right? We'll be out of commission for like a couple weeks. I was wrong about that.
Just a quick couple weeks.
A little bit.
Oh man,
yeah. Do we like the flu season?
Right. So I'm in a band, and we had the same thing. It was like early March. People were starting to cancel things, and everyone's like, "What the fuck you doing? Canceling a show 2 weeks from now?" And we had a show coming up, so we made this post, and I was just like mocking it. I'm like, "Hey guys, breaking news: we're not canceling our show on March 28th." And then it was like 4 days later, the NBA shut down. So we're like, oh, actually, we're just kidding about that. We will be canceling any further show. Sorry. Just felt like such a dumbass. Because I was assuming, guess what? Yeah.
I don't blame you, man. It was unimaginable to think this would happen, and then it is hilarious though that like the federal government was like, nah, it's no problem, and then but we all like realized it was serious when the NBA got canceled. We're like, oh, Tom Hanks is sick and the NBA stopped. It's time to take this seriously.
Yeah. I think they did a study. It was something insane. Like 68% of the people then took it seriously once Tom Hanks got sick. Before it was like in the low 30s, people were taking it seriously. Then it jumped up to like the high 60s. Once Tom Hanks announced that he had it, everyone was like, oh, not that American treasure. Are you kidding me? Absolutely.
Is Tom Hanks in the QAnon like conspiracy theory? Because I feel like if I was like a member of Q and they're like, well, what's the new thing today? Tom Hanks rapes and eats children? Like, no, not Tom Hanks. I'm out of this Q thing, right? I feel like that would be like when I would change my mind.
You think that would have been?
I was up to you with everything. Yeah. The international cabal of child sex traffickers. Yeah, I get it, but Tom Hanks, no.
Don't
you guys
dare.
are crazy.
That's why I draw the line. Yeah, exactly. He was producer on Band of Brothers, and I don't think he would do that. All right, I'm out of here. Yeah, I agree.
I just went through my Band of Brothers rewatch phase like 3 weeks ago.
Did you really? I've never even seen it, actually.
Oh, it's really good. And then I watched The Pacific, and I was like, Jesus, that was even worse.
Oh, really?
Turns out, war, not good.
Well said. Well said. Michael Joyce, 2021. War. Turns out war is not good.
Not good.
I know. I'm more of a philosopher than a comedian. You know. We were talking about the NBA though, and the one thing that is like hilarious to me is like they took it so serious and they set up the bubble and they were so successful. And then the next season came around and they're like, "Oh, that was too hard. Well, the players can just get sick." It's like that was hard. It cost money. Like we're not going to turn a profit like this. It's just give everyone So I hope they have given LeBron the vaccine, right?
Yeah.
If there's one guy who wouldn't get upset about getting it early, it's like, give it to fucking LeBron James.
Yes,
he deserves it.
Exactly. Right? Anybody who could potentially break and hold records on like a superhuman level. Pike, I would be fine with Aaron Rodgers. Pike's a giant Packers fan.
Thank you.
Aaron Rodgers should get the vaccine. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
I'll sign that petition.
Yeah, let's do it. Be like, come on, Dad. You can wait your turn, okay? Aaron Rodgers, his mustache is looking a little gray these days. We got to get him that vaccine quick.
I'm pretty sure all of Wisconsin would gladly give up their spot. Like 90-year-olds would be like, oh, go ahead, young man. You please.
Oh, yeah.
By all means.
100%. Exactly. 100%.
Do you think he just like opens up the door and there's just like a box of vaccine on his front step?
It's like fan mail, but
would you take it? Yeah. It's like the doctors, like a big fan. Here you go. Here's 2 shots. Keep them in the snowbank until you're ready to take them.
Yes, exactly. Aaron Rodgers is getting blow darts, a vaccine, as he's walking around Green Bay. Guys, I've already got it. Which one? Moderna? You gotta get that Pfizer, baby. Gotta get that Pfizer. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, I found myself becoming picky about the vaccine. I'm like, Johnson & Johnson got approved, and I'm like, I don't know if I want this Johnson & Johnson one. So what am I? Who am I? You know?
Yeah.
It's only 67% effective.
I know. We all scoffed at it. Like, what? Are you? Excuse me?
Yeah.
What would the point of that even be?
That's the ones we're gonna get, guys. I want to let you know. We're getting the Johnson & Johnson one. We're not getting the high end. No way.
Yeah, by the time we get it, it'll be like a fucking Suave like some other brand will come out like, yeah, it's topical. You massage it into your scalp. It works 4% of the time. Here you go, boys.
Yes. I just like how
in a flavored energy drink.
Right, exactly.
Jolt Cola now with the vaccine. Then I could charge those 8th graders more than $5 a pop.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go.
That's exactly right. That's how you're only going to get a certain sect of the population to take a vaccine if you put it into code red Mountain Dews. That's the only way some of these guys are going to get it from here on out. But I love the
Definitely
fact
healthier than yellow number 5.
that's true. You're 100% right. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. But.
Start making Mountain Dew with fluoride, please, because good Lord. These guys. I do want to. It's just funny to me that in the age of COVID, that we have on for the rest of our lives, we'll have the memories of living back in this era. That 30-year-olds, and it's not just men, but it's men and women, but it's like 30-year-old, 18 to 30-year-olds. It's really they've become like in the Titanic, the old men giving up their lifeboats for like the women and children. If you're between the ages of 18 and like 40, essentially, it's like, hey, hope you know how to swim, motherfuckers, because it's old people. It's those with medical conditions first. You got to get the teachers in there, nursing staff, doctors, which is, I'm not arguing against that. I agree. Those are obviously more important, but I just love how we became the instant, like, hey, you guys have had a really good life. One. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back of the line.
Like and his band are playing us as the ship's sinking.
Yeah. Yeah. We're the cellos on the Titanic.
Yeah. You're like, it's been an honor. Yeah.
Some guy's handcuffed to a pole, banging our wife down in the bottom of the ship somewhere. Just.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Don't you bang my wife?
That was the one dude. He's trying to steal a boat.
Yeah. Billy Zane's
right.
shooting someone. Yeah. But do you think after all this is over, it's gonna be like nuts, like the Roaring 20s kind of thing? Because people I have all this pent up.
I hope not.
Save up that skinny check.
I remember. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, my brain is bouncing all over the place. But was Carolina upset about you giving away your stimulus check on Sparks Radio?
I didn't ask. To be honest.
Perfect.
I was on the show with, I think it was a Friday episode when Greg was on here as well. And I go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm giving away my stimulus check. That's coming up next week. I'm giving out my stimulus money.
It is how it went.
And that was it. And that's all she wrote, In my opinion, it's mine. She has her cut. I have mine.
Yeah.
Right? She wants
that's how it works. You each got your own. And the kids got their own bonus. So it's like, whatever,
Yeah, man.
Well, I'm just thinking like we could probably get you to give away almost anything as long as we do it like live on the show.
Oh God, please don't. Please don't do this.
That's a pretty nice hat you got there, Matthew.
Stop it. I love this hat. My Aida Arepa's hat. Leave this one alone, man. I love this hat.
It would be perfect for a giveaway.
No one wants this hat. Stop it. You're not allowed to have it. I've already prefaced, like, if they pass this $1,400 check, I am not giving that one away. That one I am keeping. The last time I'm giving away stimulus money. Not the last time we're giving away money, though, because I have seen money work. Money is working right now in terms of giveaway. So, and wow, what year is it? But I sent Cash App to Pizza, the guy who won the pizza. He won $100. So congrats goes to Pizza. I just sent that. Just sent that over.
Oh yeah, it's really easy now to give that away. Before you'd have to like cut a check and get one of those really giant checks, balloons, and drive to like Milwaukee.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder if Publishers Clearinghouse is just a guy with a text. You just get it now. Like, oh, this isn't as exciting.
Yeah. Most people don't even accept it because they think it's bullshit.
Yeah, they're like, oh, no.
Is this spam?
Honey, it's that Nigerian prince again.
Yeah.
They just send you a gif of like somebody with balloons. Hey, here's your $1 million. You're like, this is horseshit. Just delete it. Spam again.
Okay.
Yeah. It comes in.
Ed McMahon Bitmoji. You're like, you want $1 million?
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Well, make sure you're checking out this podcast that Michael Joyce does. It's called Doing My Best. It's a wonderful podcast. If you love comedy and you want to hear comedians and have their take on being a parent and parenting in general, it is awesome. It is hilarious, and I would definitely recommend it. If you want, check out my episode. I'm on there. I had an absolute blast. Michael, I got to say, that was the most I've ever been asked about being a parent in my entire life by anyone ever. And I felt like it was pretty in depth. Like, your questions they weren't just like, hey, how's your kids? They were like strategic to the point where you had to think about it first. You know what I mean? Where you're like, oh God. Yeah. It involves some self-reflection, which I was not prepared for. No, I wasn't prepared to like go there myself in my brain. You know, like I had never even dove into that kind of layer of being a parent on myself before. Because you never have time. Like, who asks you these questions unless it's on a podcast or in a therapy session? But other than that, you're not just hanging out with your boys asking questions, or as a parent, you have no time for yourself. You're not thinking, oh, how do I want to raise my child here? What do I, where do I see my children? Like, what jobs
You
do I
sit
see
around
them?
with your boys, drinking beers, being like, hey man, what's your like parenting philosophy?
I forget my friends have kids. Like, I feel bad because it's like, oh shit, he's 3 now. Oh, how has it been the last 3? I feel bad because it's their whole world, and then you're just the guy without kids that forgets and fucking cares.
Yeah.
Well, Pike, we need that because it's you're our lifeline to the real world. We can't if you don't step outside of it, you get sucked into your own little universe. That's also bad.
Right.
You don't. I mean, not that the universe is bad, but I feel like you're shutting off a big facet of life if you don't step outside of the family unit from time to time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I will continue to not care or ask any questions.
There you go.
It's a good reminder. Yeah,
You are.
You're fighting the good fight,
that.
It's right.
Yeah.
Thank you for being
your parent friends as drunk and as high as they can get. All right, that's your job.
You are doing God's service. Thank you very much. You know what? Jesus approves. Thank you. Appreciate that.
How
Doing
did
God's
you
will.
just save that right now? That's the first time I'm seeing this.
Oh, we got a lot of graphics that fly in here. Yeah.
Can I get one more?
Show him another one
before you go.
Show him the other one. Should I say something that's, I don't know, ass chat?
Yes.
What the hell?
Yeah, here it is.
Go ahead, Spokes.
So we got a YouTube comment on this show, and we were talking about Burger King, and this guy wrote in about Burger King and how it's awful now and blah, blah, blah. And he called it ass trash booty cheeks. That's what he said on the YouTube comment.
Ass booty cheeks.
So we made a graphic.
Ugh, awful. Ass trash booty cheeks.
Ass trash booty cheeks. So that's that graphic that flies in. So it's almost bad. It's ass trash booty cheeks.
That's right. Ass trash booty cheeks.
That's
like
right.
That was like a vocal warm up. Ass trash booty cheeks. Ass trash cheeks.
Booty cheeks. We had I didn't have the donkey in the trash can before, but someone reported me because I had just a guy in like lady underwear. That's what that picture is. It's a guy in lady underwear, but someone reported it as too graphic of sexual content, and I got flagged. Got an email
For showing an ass. A butt, like a real butt. You got an email from what?
from YouTube. They gave me a strike, a YouTube strike.
Has YouTube ever seen YouTube?
Thank you. That's why he's not even naked. He's got underwear on. And they gave me a strike.
Ridiculous.
Thank you.
They gave you a strike. How many strikes you get?
3. And they take your channel down.
Oh, damn.
Ugh, awful. Ass trash booty cheeks.
So I had to put a donkey in a trash can to cover him up.
Oh man, the internet continues to be well, the best place because like the comment is funny, but then the worst place because people report you for an ass. Like you're on the internet. The guy probably had like a Pornhub browser open up in another window as he's reporting you for butt cheeks.
You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Well, make sure you're downloading the show, Doing My Best. It's great. It's available anywhere you download your podcast. Make sure you do that. His name is Michael Joyce, and you can catch him on all social media right there at Not Mike Joyce on both. I check you out on Instagram and on Twitter. I'm sure it's across the board at Mike Joyce, which always makes things a lot easier. So, dude, I thank you so much for doing this, man. I appreciate it. Of course,
anytime. It's good to be back, Pike. Pleasure to podcast with you. Thanks for
you as well.
For having me, gentlemen.
Yeah. Best of luck going forward, man.
You too. Stay safe out there, and let's hang out after we get that Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
There he goes. Michael Joyce. How was that, huh? What a nice guy.
Really good.
What a
Very
great
nice
guy. Make sure you're downloading the podcast, Doing My Best. I put a link in the description below or in the show notes. Make sure you click on that. I'll put a link to my episode of Doing My Best Parenting Podcast, but it was a fun one. It was really good, and I enjoyed talking about what kind of parent I am. You can only guess what kind of parent I am.
Ooh.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Let's give out some money here, Pike. What do you say?
Sure. Your money, so your call. whatever you want to do.
SparksRadio.com/win. Yep, giving out my stimulus money. We are $300 down. So we got $300 to go. According to my math, we are halfway there. So make sure you are putting out the code word for today, SparksRadio.com/win. The code word today is, oh, well, that's not it. Hold on. I forgot to add in the code word. That was yesterday's code word.
Uh-oh.
Here, I'll just, instead of putting it up, the code word today, Pike, is order. Code word order. Can you use order in a sentence?
Yeah, sure. I order you to give me a kiss, son.
Jesus Christ. Order. Code word order. All right. Who are you, Tom Brady? Did you ever see that video? Oh, my God.
Was he kissing his kids or what?
Dude, his son, he's getting like a massage or something, laying on the table.
It's already creepy.
And his son comes in. He's like, hey, Dad, can I go over to Tim's house or something like that? And he's like, you can if you give me a kiss. And so his son walks over. Yeah, his son walks over and goes, all right, thanks. Like that, gives him a kiss. And he goes, what was that? That was like a peck. I said a kiss.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
How old's the kid?
Teenager.
What the hell are you doing, Tom? This guy is the GOAT?
Yeah.
Please. That's nasty.
Well, you know what a goat's children is? I just gave it away. Baby goats are named kids. Anyway, that's their name. That's where we get kids from.
Is that right? Oh, it is. Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
It was going to be a great joke until I ruined it. Order. That is the word. Order. So when you type in the word today, code word order, think of Tom Brady kissing his child on the lips for an extended period of time. That was very, very weird. Not a thing you ever want to witness or be privy to.
The weirdest part was teasing him about how it wasn't like wet enough.
Dude, it was like on his cheek. Then he wanted it on his lips. Not about it.
No.
Really gross. Really uncomfortable and weird. Okay, we got to move on. SparksRadio.com/win. I just sat in that uncomfortable. Yeah, there we go.
I'm finished.
Disgusting. All right, let's get to it. The news that matters.
Yes, this is the news that matters. Yes, this is the news that matters.
Holy shit.
Hey, Pike, what's the most fun way to travel internationally and also go to prison for 7 years?
Oh, hot air balloon?
Ooh, close. Close. but there's something way more fun than a hot air balloon.
A magic carpet?
Not real, but keep going. You're getting closer.
Magic peach? Big peach? Am I getting closer?
Yeah, a little farther away. A little less air balloon, magic peach. A little more magic carpet.
A hang glider?
No. It doesn't fly.
Raft.
Oh, you're so close now. Now you're getting close. It's
not gonna
something
be
you've
something
never done. Something you've never done.
Well, I've been on a boat. Jet ski?
There it is, Pike. Jet skiing.
Wow.
We talked about it.
How'd
Here
you
on
know
the
I never
show.
jet skied?
We talked about it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Remember the guy who broke COVID protocol and jet skied his way to the Isle of Man, snuck on there to see his girlfriend?
Right.
That's right.
Just
yeah.
for some poonanner. That's right.
Well, it's happened again. British men have been arrested for jet skiing. This time, they were trying to jet ski from the Netherlands to England with hundreds of thousands of dollars of cocaine on them. They were trying to smuggle some coke into the country. Turns out, you need gasoline and a lot of it inside your jet ski in order to go from the Netherlands to the United Kingdom.
Yeah, how far is that?
I don't know. Didn't say, but
Is
they
it
ran out of
just
gas.
Jet skiable? Oh, interesting.
Ran out of gas. A boat saw them, radioed Mayday, and whatever the British version of the Coast Guard is, flew a helicopter out, picked the men up who were in the water, freezing because they had onset hypothermia,
Well, right.
got pulled up from the helicopter. He said that they were out there fishing, which is weird because you're on a jet ski. And then, two, they refused to open up their backpack. You know what happens?
What happened?
They opened up the backpack. There was kilos of coke on them. And have now been sentenced to 7 years in prison, each of them, 2 men. Now, don't you think you would abandon the coke if the Coast Guard is coming? Right?
Yeah, but from the movies I've seen, if you do that, what's worse, the punishment from the government or the punishment from the drug lord who surely is now going to kill you? Because then, I mean, I'd feel safer in prison, to be honest. But they're probably going to kill you anyway.
Why would they kill
Have
me?
you seen that? Have you seen that movie with Mark Wahlberg?
I've
Called
seen every
Contraband?
Mark Wahlberg. Okay, no, I didn't see that movie. No. Is that what the
Wow.
movie's
Okay.
about?
Well, let me go into great detail about this movie and educate you on how good of a film it is. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you how shitty you are because you haven't seen it. Yeah, his nephew is getting into drug smuggling. You know, not what Mark likes to see or hear, but he gets busted by the feds on this boat trying to smuggle drugs. And so now the rest of the movie is like basically Mark trying to protect this kid from this drug guy, and it gets whole twisted. I mean, his brother screws his wife. It's just,
no. That's not what you want.
Yeah, if that wasn't enough going on personally.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that synopsis, and I do feel like less of a person. So now I know how you feel when anyone references any movie other than Will Ferrell, Adam Sandler, or apparently now Mark Wahlberg is added to the list.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've seen quite a few Marky Mark movies. You got to watch Contraband. It's a great movie.
Is it great?
It's a good watch. It's it's action packed. It's a lot of drama.
Oh,
It's all the things you need.
it's got it.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster ride.
Kind of. Oh yeah. All right.
Exactly.
Well, I'm finished. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We don't do enough surveys on this show.
Oh.
So I found a survey. If you're wondering what features men who are great in bed have, there's been a survey. Women were asked about the physical features of their best sexual partner. So I've got a list, and we'll see how many each you and I have of these sexual, stallions, okay?
Yeah.
Women, when surveyed, 73% of them said the best sex they ever had was with a guy who had a beard.
Really?
What do you think of that? Yeah, beard. Like, just bearded men are. Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
How can you argue with what the women said from personal experience?
Yeah, I
Just 'cause
feel
you
like
don't have a beard?
No. I think it's what's that called? Well, revisionist history. Okay. I think what they do is it's because they had great sex with a guy, but he was ugly. So they fantasized about a man with a beard while they were having sex with the guy without the beard. Does that make sense? Like the sex without the beard was like incredible. But
yeah,
when they looked at his face, they're like, oh, what is going on? And then they thought of Jason Momoa. Well, the guy was Momoing down there on her, Like, oh, yeah, this is, oh, man. Yeah. And now I know why they call you Aquaman.
Come on now. Come on.
I think that's
So
what
you tell
happened.
me-
I think they're just.
You think?
Yeah, they're just substituting, It's like the Pepsi
But
challenge.
How discouraging that you're giving her the best sex she's ever had, and even so, she still has to replace your head with somebody else's. I mean,
I don't blame her. I don't blame her.
Yeah.
But hey, man, she knows where it came from. They all come calling back to him. Oh, Maddie over here, They're like, oh my God, it's Momoa Maddie. And I'm like, that's right. You call me whatever you want.
Just the Aquaman.
Just call me Aquaman because I can breathe underwater. Oh no. What do you think about that? Do you think that your wife was more satisfied when you were a big burly bearded man or now when you're like a stubbly man?
I've always been a stubbly man.
Oh yeah.
The beard though. Yeah, I feel like I might have performed better.
You do?
Yeah.
Like it gave you power. It gave you energy.
There's something about a beard. It's a whole different lifestyle, and you can't explain it. You just have to live it.
I didn't shave for 3 months once, and I grew a beard. It was disgusting. It's the ugliest.
I believe that.
I really need to shave right now. Like, this is really long. My wife hates facial hair, so that's why she's in that other, I don't know, 22% or whatever. I can't remember what it said, 70 something or other. Yeah.
Well, you're not using it correctly then.
She doesn't like it. It's very spiky, and I agree. It's uncomfortable.
It's kind of, if you get enough of it, though, it kind of works as an extra tickler, if you know what I mean.
Really? I would think it's like rug burn down there.
Maybe. I'm just making shit up. I don't know.
Awful. It's like,
You're probably
oh my
right.
God, your beard smells like yesterday's tacos. And you're like, yeah, it's probably something stuck in there still. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's tough because you got to use your tongue, but you're kind of like playing Operation where you got to be able to use your tongue without involving any of the hair around it.
Yes, exactly. That's not cool.
Oh, it's like surgery.
Oh,
Yeah.
weird. That's
And
weird.
if you hit and if you touch it, like the game, they make a horrible sound to let you know that you've failed.
Yeah.
They go, ah. Imagine that. Ah. Oh.
I don't want to imagine that.
No.
All I hear is
aquifers dry up real quick.
all I hear is more, and I'm like, oh, is she saying more or Momoa? As in Jason Momoa? I'm not sure.
Did you just say Jason?
Yeah, wait. Did you just say, oh my God, I love your buns? Are you talking about my ass or my imaginary man bun? I'm not sure which one you're referring to. There's some
these
women
are the
out
other
there.
features.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
What do I mean? They got a whole list. So right behind beard was brown eyes. Do you got brown eyes?
God, I'm the ugliest man in the world. It all makes sense now. There's no woman that thinks I'm attractive. There's not a one. Got no beard. I do not have brown eyes. I mean, I guess we all have one brown eye, but I have
That's right.
two green eyes. So wait a minute.
Damn.
So women love beards and buttholes is what you're saying. They love brown eyes.
Beards, buttholes, and if you've got a piercing on that butthole, you're even better off. Because piercings is number 3. I'm guessing
Who
you
did
don't
they
have
ask? I feel like they asked. Like, did they ask Justin Bieber fans? Is that who we're describing here? Are we talking about what's going on?
Women.
It just says women.
Yeah, you got tattoos on the list. You got small feet. What the fuck?
Okay. No woman likes a guy with small feet. What, do you want to share shoes? I don't understand.
But this isn't like why they're having sex with them. It's just things they noticed about their best sexual partners. It's like, oh, he happened to have small feet. Interesting. It's not like I gotta do you because you got these small little, elf feet.
All right. So, Pike, you have a tattoo. I imagine you have small feet. You could grow a beard. You're a sex machine, bro. You are a sex machine. Yeah. I already talked about my feet.
Yeah.
My feet are disgusting. They're like, they're like swimmer fins. It's awful. Like, I feel like I'm going scuba diving here, snorkeling as I jump into a water bed. All beds become water beds. You know what I'm saying? Aquaman. God, Jesus Christ.
Getting things wet. All right.
I got no piercings, no tattoo, no beard, ridiculously gangly, gross feet. Like I hang from ceilings, kind of a foot. Women see me as, oh God, that's a bad lay right there. That's what they see.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a snail trail? Like hair from your belly button down to your genitals?
Yeah. It's not a trail, though.
Oh.
It's more of a topographical map. It is like, it kind of covers.
Oh. Well, clean that up. Then you'll have one thing going for you.
If my hair was red, it would look like one of those like a Pepto-Bismol commercial where they highlight the body in red and like, here's where the pain is located. That's what my stomach hair would look like.
Well, that ain't it. It's not. I don't think that's what they're describing.
Was that on the trail part? Was that on the list?
Oh, the snail trail was, not Pepto-Bismol stomach.
Oh,
yeah, but glasses were high cheekbones, broad shoulders.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. So basically, these girls want to just get pounded by a dude that throws like in these, those Scottish games, where they take the big rocks and they throw. Like, hey, here's a telephone pole. See how far you can throw it. Those dudes look like this. They wear kilts. They got beards, piercings, tattoos. That's all these women want. That's what they want.
Are you talking about the world's strongest man competition?
I'm talking about like the Celtic games. You know what I'm talking about? The Celtic games.
Oh yeah,
one of those guys.
Pretty much. Like Conor McGregor. He's probably good in the sack.
God, he's probably great in the sack.
Yeah.
He always wears those little shorts too.
Mm-hmm. Must be confident with his, genital situation. Boy, what a life changer that would be.
To be confident in your genitals?
Yeah.
I'm confident in my genitals. You gotta be.
We both were. I mean, but just like to the point where you're like flaunting them. Like, oh, did I accidentally wear super tight shorts today?
I was gonna say,
is that
too confident in your genitals to become a flasher, and that's illegal, Pike. That's not something you want to do.
Yeah.
You want to be.
Yeah, that's one of the things that have kept me from, being a criminal is just having a unimpressive schlong.
Yes, your dick is so forgettable that you actually could be a criminal, and they'd be like, "What did it look like?" I can't remember. It's really,
I don't know.
It wasn't very impressive. I'll tell you that much.
Well, we've staged a lineup of 6 genitals. Do you recognize any of these?
I don't know. They all look very sad. I'm not sure. All right, we got to end on that note. We're out of here.
Okay.
Make sure, dude, I even plugged the Patreon. Did you put your magic trick up yet, or no? You forgot.
Nope, today.
All right.
Couple busy ones. Today.
No worries. I understand. There you go. Pike, jump on the old Patreon.
Patreon.com/SparksRadio.
Next week, Pike and I, we will announce something cool that we're going to be doing for the members on the Patreon. It's just a cool little, fun little event that we're going to be putting on. So make sure you jump on the Patreon. It is awesome because you get free stuff like these stickers. You got the elevated member sticker. You got the Project Payhem sticker. And you got the member of the special committee. You each get those stickers once you hit the certain levels. Thank you so much for all the Patreon members. Make sure you're giving me your address so I can mail you those stickers. I want to drop them in the mail for you. Should be a fun one. Tomorrow, 5 on Friday, it's going to be early. Make sure you are there hanging out with us. YouTube.com/SparksRadio. Tell a friend. Really appreciate it. Follow Pike on all social media at Pike Taylor Radio. Oh, dude, we hit 300 subscribers yesterday.
Oh, we did. Wow. Finally. All right.
Shout out to the committee. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I had some people messaging me in like, dude, I did it. I followed. I subscribed or whatever. So thank you. Awesome. We did it. 300 subscribers. That was absolutely wonderful. We were trying to get there by February. We did it 18 days later. So that's pretty good. We're right on being late. So that's fine. Should be good.
That's not.
I'm at Sparks Radio on all social media. Get your punishment suggestions in. We're going to get that punishment done. Put it up on the Patreon. You'll be able to vote by next week. So it should be a fun time. Make sure you're doing that. That is it for us. We are out of here. Any last words, Pike?
Okay.
Show's over, motherfuckers. Now get out of here.